I have chosen 2 paintings from this exhibition to compare and contrast. The one on the left is the Corn Poppy by Kees van Dogen, and the painting on the right is Portrait of Pablo Picasso by Juan Gris. First, the Corn Poppy by Kees van Dogen is a Fauvist painting. It was created in 1919, and the medium of the painting is oil on canvas. And the painting is a portrait of a woman with a striking red hat. It is quite enigmatic in the way that the woman is looking because she is very simplistic. Moving on to the painting on the right, which is the Portrait of Pablo Picasso by Juan Gris. This painting is a Cubist painting. It was created by Juan Gris in the year 1912, and the medium of this painting is also oil on canvas. In this painting, Juan Gris attempts to represent Picasso in his own perspective, and these 2 paintings are similar in that they are both portraits. Indeed, the subject matter of both paintings are people. So the Corn Poppy is a woman, and the Portrait of Pablo Picasso is Pablo Picasso. Specifically, in terms of the 2 portraits, it is not clear whether the Corn Poppy is an actual woman or it is simply a woman that Dogen had made up, or conversely, Pablo Picasso's portrait by Juan Gris is a real portrait of Pablo Picasso. Moving on to the more other elements of the painting, in terms of subject matter, Picasso is represented by not only himself, but the palette that he is holding. And therefore, Gris's painting has a more descriptive and personal element, while the Corn Poppy by Dogen does not have any personal elements except for the red hat. However, it doesn't tell us anything about the woman in the painting. As for the colors or values in the painting, Corn Poppy is more simplistic and makes more use of color, although it is simplistic. For example, the bright red on the woman's hat is an example of that color, and Dogen uses it to contrast with the rest of the portrait. On the other hand, Gris's work is monochromatic and has low values. There is more of a gray scale to Gris's work, while Dogen's work has that bright red that has a very high color value. Similarly, in terms of balance, Corn Poppy is approximately symmetrical. However, the portrait of Pablo Picasso is not symmetrical. For instance, if it was cut across the vertical medial axis, it would not be the same on both sides or even remotely the same. In terms of the background, Gris's portrait of Pablo Picasso does have some substance in the background. This is because it is a Cubist painting, so some of the background is obscured with geometric shapes. However, in Dogen's Fauvist painting, there is not anything in the background. It is simply a plain brownish background. In terms of shapes, Corn Poppy uses more organic shapes to nail on the head the contour of the woman's face, as well as the eyes, the necks, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, the portrait of Pablo Picasso by Juan Gris is more geometric and uses more geometric shapes. This can be attributed to the art movement that it is a part of. Cubism used a lot of geometric shapes and did not use as many organic shapes. However, when it did use organic shapes, it was usually cut through by some kinds of lines. Finally, the interpretation. Corn Poppy is more of a statement. It is possible that this painting was a commentary on the corn poppy itself, which is a real flower, and it could be a comparison of the woman to the corn poppy. The corn poppy is highly addictive and can induce a drug-like state, which it is possible that Dogen is saying the same for this woman. On the other hand, Grise's painting is more of an interpretive portrait representing Picasso's pioneering work in Cubism. Thank you for tuning in to this compare and contrast of The Corn Poppy by Kees van Dogen and The Portrait of Pablo Picasso by Juan Gris.